Shout out to front row titties.
Front row titties. Yeah.
That's happened a handful of times.
Yeah.
And it is a distraction when you have unnecessarily good looking person in the front row.
Yeah, especially when they're spilling out. They're
Yeah.
spilling, like
They're dressed in like
I get the freedom of you're allowed to wear what you want, but the thing is, I think Patrice O'Neal joked about it where he talked about he goes, I should be able to comment on anything that I see. You know, like it's. I mean, it's true. Like if I
think he called it titty meat.
Titty meat, yeah. What's that? The titty meat, yeah. And it like my thing is like, so if I had like a giant fat hog and I had like super tight pants or like the head's tipping out at the bottom of my shorts or something,
Yeah.
you're gonna tell me that no one's gonna notice that or address that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean that
I would.
I hate that stupid double standard. Like, oh, you can't comment. I'm like, they're spilling out. Like they're spilling out.
Well, when it's just, especially when you're performing, anything that like catches your eye like that or it's a distraction, because it's nice when you have sort of it's good when things stand out so you could do comment and make fun of it, but when it's like a distractingly hot woman, or you ever have like a couple that's like really good looking, they're like, it's both. They're both, and they look like
they're always usually tan.
Yeah, tan, and they're dressed like they're on vacation. Like they're like the guy will have like a button-down shirt, but he's like 3 buttons unbuttoned. And
yeah. You can see that,
and like gold necklaces and shit. And
there's always something very shiny about them.
And you're like, why are you here? Like, just go look at your bank account in your nice car somewhere. What are you doing?
Go to your secret Eyes Wide Shut party.
I used to hate that. I hated. I got real bitter. Always, but with like performing for crowds as a comic when you're really struggling, because you're like, especially when it's weekends, when you're devoting your weekends to shows, and you have like these people that you're trying to make laugh, or you're making laugh, and then you're like fuck, but like shit is going terrible like inside. And you're looking at these people and you're doing your best to perform for them and make them happy.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's like a sacrifice.
Oh yeah. I think every comic that's been at it for a minute has done that, like where you're like everything about your existence is falling apart, it's in shambles, and you're like, oh, I gotta go entertain these fucks. Like, look, oh, they rode up in their Lamborghini and got it valet parked. And my car's got 3 wheels. I'm riding on the rim. Like, it's like, what the fuck? Yeah. Oh God.
I know.
But so for anyone listen, I was talking about, I did a show and there was a couple who was out after having a kid. They had their first kid.
Yeah.
And it was their first
3
outing.
months?
3 months. That they hadn't. Like, I guess the kid's old enough, but they haven't done anything in 3 months, like as far as by themselves.
Okay.
It was their first outing, and they came out and they were all dressed up, and she was wearing obviously a dress that probably fit a little bit better before the pregnancy, or at least the pregnancy tits.
Yeah, before milk jugs came along.
Man, but yeah, and these were legit mommy milkers and
milk bags. Someone in my high school had a funny
milk bags.
I think it was milk
bags. If these were milk bags, you would have to pay extra to get them on the airplane because these bad boys
they were bigger than the regulation size.
Spirit Airline would make you charge you extra. Yeah, for
the
these.
FAA is not.
These were not carry-ons. That's for certain. So I get ready.
Ma'am, it's clearly too big to stow in the overhead apartment.
And the funny thing was, though, it was like a younger couple.
Yeah.
I'd probably say mid-20s, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Or like mid-20s to early 30s at the oldest. And so it was, a lot of moms, when they have kids, they're always worried about how they look. So we were worried that we were offending this poor woman, and she was just eating up all the validation. Like, she was eating up.
Eating up.
Yeah, and then the guy was too, because it was like, yeah, everyone wants to fuck my wife. Like that whole vibe. It was
nipples leaking.
Oh yeah. Milk spots in the corner of her dress, but like, yeah, it was. But if I don't like drawing too much attention to certain things, because then what happened was every comedian after me
Yeah.
started, this works, so I'll just
Yeah.
do this, and they a lot of them don't know how to do it
This
properly.
lady knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's like I was had some chocolate syrup. Am I right? You know, like that. Yeah, but no, but I mean, but they were. I love that. I love when people celebrate things. Like when
Yeah.
I'm performing, people come to me all the time and they're like, "Hey, I'm celebrating my birthday or celebrating anniversary," or I love this. I love when they're like, "I've never gone to a show before." And they're like, "Oh," I'm like, "Oh, I'm the person. I'm the first person that you see." Yeah, now the pressure's on. Yeah. That's now I'm the person that determines whether or not you love live entertainment,
Live comedy. Yeah.
live comedy. It's like,
It is nice when you have someone who comes up and says, "I've never been to a show and this was like so much fun." When you could tell
Yes.
they genuinely enjoyed it, you're like, "All right,
hell yeah.
all right." It gives you like 2.5 minutes of happiness.
Yeah, and then you're like, hell yeah! One of my friends is gonna ruin it for you.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna destroy that confidence and happiness that you have right now.
Yeah. You're like, give it 10 minutes here.
So we were talking about celebrations, and speaking of celebrations, you're getting married soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been married before, so
Yeah.
it'll be a good celebration, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like what are the top celebrations? You have a birthday is a yearly thing.
Birthday, anniversaries, retirements.
Yeah.
There's
So probably large birthdays, which of those you have like, I know that bit's been done a million times, but like
the Patton Oswalt one.
18 and 21 and 40, or
Yeah.
you know, like those large birthdays.
Yeah.
So wedding's probably one of the bigger life celebrations, I guess.
Yeah. It's I think people celebrate it because not everyone gets married. You know.
Yeah,
I think.
especially nowadays, I feel
Yeah.
like less and less young people are getting married.
Yeah.
You know, they just rather
Another
play.
celebration would be birthday, gender reveal parties and baby showers. Is
Oh
another one.
yeah.
But those happen more often than marriages now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
and
because you could have a gender reveal party and still be not married. you
Yeah,
know?
it used to be those were tethered.
All you need is like $20 for a cake, you know,
Yeah.
or like a balloon. You fill a balloon with like powder or whatever.
Yeah, that our society has changed definitely. Years ago, it used to be it was the engagement party or bachelorette party, marriage, and then the baby shower.
Yeah.
even if the baby came before the marriage. you know?
Oh yeah.
But now it's like now it's like, all right, cool, we have a kid. I'm not getting married. Like we don't. It's not necessary. You know, that type of thing. But how long you guys been together for? Quite a few years.
Yeah. Over 8 years.
Oh shit, that's like common law married. You technically a common law married.
Yeah, I mean we live like we are married. Like we own a house together. And we have 2 dogs.
No, and you guys have been living together that whole time, just about, right?
Yeah, it's 7 years.
That's
We
common
moved
law.
in together fast because her old roommate got pregnant like right when we started hanging out.
Okay, I think I remember you telling me about that. Yeah.
And then which was lovely, you know, she has a lovely child and she's great.
Yeah.
But I lived at the beach at the time and I had shitty roommates and so it was like it was early to move in together. We were dating like 6 months when we moved in.
But your hand was kind of forced, essentially.
It was like it was sort of like the timing was sort of like pushing it to happen
Yeah.
between stuff. So yeah, so I guess some states, I don't know if you have to live in the same state to be common law married or whatever, but I haven't looked into that.
usually 7 years. 7 years.
But you can live anywhere.
I'm not. I know what state of Florida it was because the only reason I know that is me and my ex. I was with her for 10 years.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And we didn't do anything to get officialized as far as common law marriage, but we were eventually gonna get like. I actually proposed to her, and she like we got to a fight. Long story, she like chucked the ring and lost it, and yeah.
No way.
Oh, dude, yeah. That relationship.
Oh no.
You know, the sad thing is we're still friends.
Wait, where did she throw it into a body of water?
No, she just yeeted it somewhere. It was it was either in our house or where we lived or like outside. I can't remember anymore.
Oh,
And I can't remember. And
fuck.
I mean, it wasn't super expensive. I mean, it was like a lab created sapphire ring. She didn't want diamond. She wanted.
Still, regardless of money, it's like the symbolism.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, fuck, that's heavy.
Yeah.
You know.
And sad thing is, we stayed together for several more years after that.
Oh,
know?
really?
Yeah. I mean,
Did you consider yourself engaged after that, or did you just kind of leave it?
I had always planned on like either finding that ring or getting another ring, but it was a relationship that should have lasted 2 years.
Yeah. Oh,
and it just we just kept because we were young when we got together.
Yeah.
We were young when we got together, and then it was just very toxic. We both came from very similar backgrounds of like, you know, just not good. Like, you know, the lead parent was the kind of problematic person in the household.
Yeah.
A lot of abuse, verbal like from like the lead parent and their like her dad, my mom, like just both came from similar environments, like, and it was just bad, and so that spilled out into us.
Yeah, I was gonna say sometimes you probably.
Our communication was god awful. It was a lot of yelling and screaming and all that bullshit, and sometimes she was the type that literally push, like get physical with me, and I'm like,
oh wow.
I go to work. I'm like, I had to tell her several times, like, I go to work and I fight everybody.
Yeah, you're like I could destroy you.
No, man, but I'm literally fighting women at
Yeah.
work, and I have this woman, and she wasn't a small framed woman.
Yeah.
You know, I joke about like
You dated Icebox from Little Giants.
yeah, essentially that's what, yeah. I joke about like how like recently I started like dabbling into smaller framed women.
Yeah.
When I traditionally was like if we're talking like
Isn't that nice? A body change.
Yeah.
When you how did you feel about it?
Oh, I mean, I enjoyed it. It felt good to be able to pick up a woman without throwing her on my back. You know, it's just like a, because like if I was, this sounds so mean, but like
you two get it down in a 3-point stance before you.
if you labeled the position of like on a football team of the women that I had
yeah.
traditionally I was banging O line, D line, defensive ends and shit. I just now started getting into skill position players.
Yeah.
like special teams and shit.
You're taking down free safeties.
Oh yeah. I mean, I got fucking Pro Bowlers now. Like, so
They're not tall, but they're fast.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we were talking about this
Good
when
hands.
when I almost banged that tree, that tall girl. That
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so like that was like almost like a throwback for me. Too Tall Jones, I remember her. You know, like
yeah. Well, yes, we're getting married and we're doing an untraditional. We're not like having a wedding here, so we're going to Italy.
Yeah,
and we're getting married over there.
that's cool.
And not like in a place or anything, just like out on rocks at a little fishing village.
Yeah,
And it's funny the reaction you get because it's typically one of very positive or very negative. Because we were just going just two of us, not like any family or friends.
People want to be included in it.
Yeah, like a destination wedding, but like
Yeah.
I was like, could you imagine like trying to even get people to come to Jacksonville for a wedding? Like if Kelly and I got married,
the logistics of it are fucking nightmares.
it's a nightmare. So
Yeah.
to go international and to be like, hey, people, come travel internationally for a
Yeah.
wedding. It seems so wacky.
So even if you did a traditional style wedding, you would only have to you couldn't logistically have a big party.
Yeah.
It would have to be literally like parents and parents, best friend, you know, like and that's it or something, because
Yeah, like real
anything
small.
else is too much, too expensive, you know. I mean, like who's fitting the bill, like all these different things.
Right.
Is it every man for themselves? It's a nightmare. So yeah, no, that's the best way to do it. It's just basically getting internationally eloped, essentially. Would be best way to describe it. But that's good. That's cool.
Yeah, I feel like that. I don't understand why that's not more popular because I've never looked into the price of a wedding currently, like nowadays. A wedding here, anywhere like a standard wedding here, and let alone, I know Jacksonville's a more affordable city, but like you hear like bridezillas and shit. Like people, they spend like what the price of like a house
That's
on a
dumb.
wedding, and it's insane.
My I don't know what's your personal opinion on that. Is like if I personally
It's a
feel,
waste of money. You should
exactly.
put that money towards the house would be a better
Yeah.
option. Light it on fire because it'll probably be less stressful.
Yeah, I think honestly, like, because that was the one thing that I was totally cool about, like putting a ring on that girl's finger is was she didn't want a big shindig, she didn't want a big wedding, she
Yeah.
honestly didn't even want family at it, because like her and her family were very like to this day they're still very kind of
Was
like
she a Florida girl?
well her friend like her dad was from Tennessee and her mom was from here, and yeah, Florida girl,
Yeah.
and it just yeah, so she didn't want anything really special, and I thought that was awesome. I was like, cool, like, yeah, because honestly, my opinion, my thought on it was, why are we gonna start our relationship, our marriage relationship in debt? Because that's what would happen if we did this big shindig, you know. Because like we're already fighting about money here and there and stuff like. So why would we put ourselves in a situation where we're gonna,
Yeah.
you know, for what reason? To showboat? Like,
Right. That,
you know.
yeah. At the end of the day, like you're paying so much money for like and it's like friends and family and stuff, but it's like still you're paying a lot of money. Someone is, and if you are, especially if you're putting yourself in debt, that's not a good situation.
Yeah.
What
And then,
have
okay.
you been to? What have been some of your best celebrations you've been? Have you been to?
Weddings? Like cool weddings? And
Yeah,
stuff?
have you been to good weddings?
I've been to some fun ones. I mean, most of them are just traditional chapel weddings. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you get married in a chapel. You go to like my brother's. I'm trying to remember the funnest. Probably my brother's. My brother's was a traditional chapel style wedding, but I mean, even in that whole wedding was literally discounts and favors. Everything was discounts and favors.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
You know, because they got married young too. I think it was 2005. So my brother was like 22, 23 maybe when he got
Yeah.
married, and so it was stressful too because there was the in laws were clashing. Like that was another issue. It was like, but I mean,
That's difficult.
I was the median guy. I was the guy that kind of kept things at bay. So like my brother, he had a chapel style wedding, and then he had a reception at this place that used to be a skating rink, and then now they did like events and stuff, and so there was tensions were high, and they had a DJ, and the DJ was actually pretty good. So I was just like, all right, I'm the best man. What was it like two? It was a dual best man. It was like his brother and then his best friend. And so, but I was like the other best man wasn't much of a dancer. I loved dancing. So they at the reception they played music. I danced my ass off. My God, yeah. So like,
Were you feeling like you're feeling today?
yeah, we got that. We're talking about that on another episode. But yeah, then I was younger. I was I was like 20. I was 20. So like, I could have danced all night and then took a 20-minute break and then
You said it was
danced.
at like a skating rink.
Yeah, it used to be a roller skating rink. Speaking of celebrations, it's funny. I remember having a birthday celebration there when it was a skating rink.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I remember my 8th birthday. It was where I invited some friends from school, and I didn't know about the skating part. I just invited them to my birthday party, which was in a Little Caesars inside of a Kmart.
Nice.
So I invited some kids, and a couple kids made fun of me. They were like, "You got your birthday's at a Little Caesars in a Kmart?" You know, it was my grandma worked at that Kmart. So
I would kill for Little Caesars right now.
Oh,
In
dude.
a Kmart specifically because I like the lighting and the atmosphere
Yeah.
and the. Did your Kmart have a popcorn machine and pretzels and a slushie?
Yes.
Or icy?
It was all in the same
the
Little
polar
Caesars.
bear machine.
Yeah, it was all Polar Pop or whatever. All
Yeah.
it was in the same area where they had the Little Caesars.
And I mean, it's like a 20-foot by 20-foot slice of heaven right in the beginning.
Yeah, it's like when you go to Walmart and there's like a Subway or like a McDonald's.
Yeah.
It's
But it's so much better than that.
God damn. Yeah, it was yeah, so I invited these kids. So like, it's my birthday. Here's the invitations. And some of my friends were like, yeah, we'll be there. And then two of the kids that I thought were my friends were like roasting me basically, like, you poor. And then what happened was I get there. Pizza's like stacked high, like all
Yeah.
the pizza you could fucking eat, because my grandma hooked it up, and then like my grandma pilfered the blue light special toys section for me. So I had all like a stack of like X-Men figures and all these different things, and
Nice.
then my mom was like, "Oh, by the way, guys, I called your parents, and like you're not getting picked up here. You're getting picked up down the road." And they're like, "What?" And I was like, "What?" And then basically the big surprise was the skating place wasn't going to open for another 2 hours. So my parents and I think my grandma and maybe one of my aunts paid for 2 hours of like the floor. It was ours, like the skating
Nice.
place. Yeah. But then we found out like it was just going to be us skating. So there was some like girls that were waiting for it to open, and we were like, "Can we invite them?" so
Like, is it
yeah,
a nightclub?
So we basically it was like a private night. It was fun. It was fun. It was we danced to "It Takes Two" by DJ Rob Bass a lot. That DJ was terrible. He was awful.
That background vocal, the wah.
Yeah.
What that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes. Yeah, I remember trying to backward skate to show off for the girls and falling a bunch. But then flash forward, that place got like remodeled and it turned into just like a
Event space.
They just basically took out the walls of the skating rink, kept the floor, the hardwood floor of the skating rink, and then put like different decorations and stuff like that. It was wild going in there. I'm like, oh man, I remember skating here. It's a DJ Rob Bass, like a bunch.
I had a skating rink, but I didn't enjoy skating a whole bunch. But they had a row of arcade games, and they had and I'm sure you remember it. It was a very specific old WWF game.
Yeah,
it was like the stand-up wrestling arcade game, and it probably would have been around the time you were 8. Like,
I know exactly.
What I'm talking about. It had like very specific
Earthquake,
graphics.
and Hulk Hogan, and Undertaker had the Road Warriors, Legion of Doom.
Yeah, I think you could do Royal Rumbles, or I don't know.
Yeah,
I forget. But that arcade game, I spent more time playing that than skating.
That skating ring actually did have that game. It had that.
It's so awesome.
The Ninja Turtle arcade game.
It's amazing. Yeah.
And the reason why I remember that is
those two and The Simpsons. Those three are
fucking the Simpsons
amazing.
Game. God damn,
arcade games.
Yeah, the oh my god, that's like the holy trifecta of early arcade games.
Yeah, me too.
And I remember because the arcade area had a flat floor, so it was
how awesome were arcades?
Arcades were awesome. They were so fun.
I don't think. I know gaming's huge now, and I specifically had a friend today just tell me how big gaming is. Just trying to tell us.
Yeah.
Because he's a gamer,
and
I'm like, great, but I miss going into an arcade. That was like fucking magical. I wonder when they'll replace that experience, because I mean I know they have like Dave and Buster type things, but it's different than what was. Those I went with like small children, relatives. We went for like a birthday party.
Yeah,
those I think it was not Dave and Buster's. It was some other one over here. The fucking the games last like 30 seconds. It's like $1.50 a turn,
Oh yeah.
For whatever it is, and then it's so short. It's so much shorter than I remember.
Yeah.
And our old arcades, you were like a magical. That was like a magical experience.
They try to duplicate. There's another thing that's out called barcades.
Oh yes, yeah.
They got those, but I don't know. It's just something.
I go there and you buy craft beer and then you play NBA Jam and you go. It's not as fun as I remember because the control. They always buy like secondhand used old machines and they're not in good shape.
Yeah.
So like the controls never work very well. Yeah, they stick or they're unresponsive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like it's frustrating.
Yeah. I think also the problem is a lot of those games they don't make the parts for them anymore.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Like
why would you?
I know like my brother sells DVD and VHS media on eBay, and my brother now has at least 6 or 7 VHS players that he's like, well, he's probably sold quite a few of them now, but like the thing about VHS players a lot of people don't know is they don't make any more new. It's either dead stock or refurbished or you're just selling them for parts. That's it. So every VHS player that exists now is either, if they're brand new, it's dead stock. It was just never sold,
Okay.
and then everything else is just either recycled parts. It's just recycled parts.
Do you ever? I have a pretty nice sized DVD collection of movies because I
Yeah.
was like really into movies. I have it right over there,
Yeah.
behind that chair, and I heard recently, and I don't know if this is true or not, but the movie Kids. Do you ever see that?
Yeah, it was like a really gritty, almost like documentary style movie.
Yeah, like New York.
Yeah.
Early '90s New York
Yeah.
Kids. I heard that it's hard to get on DVD now. Like they don't.
Yeah,
print it or
I
whatever.
can't remember why. I know that. I mean, in it is a pretty
It's
gnarly.
it's a wild plot. And
Well, I
stuff.
mean, yeah, there's like a rape scene in it,
Yeah.
and but yeah, I don't know. I can't remember why. I wonder if it's a distribute. I know, for example, I think we talked about this before, but like Kevin Smith's movies.
Oh, the Dogma.
Yeah, Dogma.
Yeah, you told me.
Yeah, I
you
remember-
were the one who told me about that. The distribution thing.
Well, that's because they were all distributed under Weinstein,
Oh, okay.
and he doesn't want to be associated with it anymore. But he's contractually obligated to the Weinstein. So there's this big litigation thing.
God.
So he was like, you know what? I don't want you guys making any more money under his name. So whatever's out's out, but I'm not distributing any more until this is settled.
Oh,
So
man.
basically, everything that's out is under the Weinstein name, and it's all worth a lot of money. Like Dogma and Blu-ray, you could probably fetch $120 a fucking Blu-ray.
Oh, really?
Yeah, standard. I'm talking not even a special edition. I'm talking about just a standard Blu-ray. Kevin Smith.
What about a burned copy?
Oh, I'm not sure. No, I think it's just more like what they're paying for is where the
actual
paper.
thing.
Yeah. Now, I mean, if you could,
If you have discs only, can you sell those, or do people want the whole case and everything?
you probably you'll probably make less money.
Yeah.
Because I mean, even with the just the disc only, it's going to show in the credits, Weinstein, Weinstein Corporation, whatever.
Yeah.
But the mural money's the case and
Right.
stuff.
That's true.
And then the special edition ones, that's even more. Like there's like special. There's one that was like, it looks like I think it was like Buddy Jesus, like a Buddy Jesus
yeah.
one. So like, but that could be why kids. I haven't looked into kids, but like, you have kids
Oh yeah.
on DVD?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. I
Yeah,
have to check. I
I
have to
have,
ask my brother what.
I don't know. I was curious because I own. It's a big ass case. Oh. Simpsons.
Oh shit. Oh,
But
you don't have the boxes for those, do you?
No.
The Simpsons.
I don't. No, probably not.
Oh,
I've moved
shit.
so many times.
Yeah, because all those early edition Simpsons seasons were
Yeah.
worth a bunch of money.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. I only like box sets of DVDs, especially like old school shows. Like my brother got off Facebook Marketplace a literal like 2 or 3 crates worth of like box set DVDs, and it was like Mama's Family and like shit. Like I don't know if you've heard these shows, and it was complete seasons. And my brother paid, I think it was 3 or 4 crates of it. My brother paid about $100, right? And he started listing them. He had no idea what they were selling for. He was just listing them, and he sold, I think, All in the Family, and then like it was like the Love Boat or something like that. And he sold one box set for $40. The next one was like 60, and then he made
For real?
I'm not shitting you. He made his money back off like 2 box sets, and then he was just posting the rest. And he's like, "Bro, I didn't even know these were worth that much." And like people were just buying it because like that was another. It was some of them were like TV deals. I don't know if you remember the infomercials. Like, oh yeah, if you join Time Life, you can.
I think I have.
Yeah. Yeah, it was now I don't know if it was the specific ones that he had or but yeah, he was just burning through these like box sets. Oh, the Seinfeld one? Is that what season is that? First season? Oh, the complete series.
It's the whole series.
Holy shit.
I used to have the Sopranos
Is
complete
that a
series too.
Blu-ray or DVD?
DVD, I want to say.
So like, I don't know, this is.
I'm pretty sure I got this, and then it got released on streaming like the next day.
Oh well, I mean that's even better though because you have the tangible copy. Because another thing too that's happening is a lot of people are getting off social media, and they're was that Seinfeld complete, and that's DVD.
Yeah.
All right, so what'd you pay for that?
I don't remember. I don't remember at all. But I was checking to see if they and most of the discs are almost everything. I think I only see one missing, but I think it's probably in that folder.
So I'm seeing the cheapest. Well, you got people that are underselling them, and I don't know what condition they're in.
Yeah.
But we're 55 to like $130.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And the thing is, when my brother gets these, he'll do like a haggle, like a group sale type thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Bundle them, and so like when he bought those crates, it was like a bunch of these, but like old time series. And so and he, like I said, he paid $100 for the 4 crates, and
you probably end up selling to like older people who they're like, oh,
that's
I
exactly
love that
who you
show.
sell them to. Yeah,
It's a good deal.
I mean, so yeah, imagine this one thing right here was in one of those crates.
Yeah.
And like I said, 50 to $120.
Where do you buy the crates?
Oh, Facebook Marketplace. People are selling
yeah.
Facebook Marketplace usually, or yard sales.
Yeah, yard
Like
sales.
me and my brother at a flea market are we're dynamos. We're like we're like we have different specialties. So his is like media stuff like that. Mine's toys, old school toys, certain collectibles. I used to be really big into sports collectibles at one point.
Yeah.
So there's like a gap there's like a from this time to this time where I really paid attention to it. Anything beyond that, I don't fucking know.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's
That's cool.
yeah. So like I did another. I remember about a year ago. So me and my brother went to a flea market, and I did the same thing he did with the DVDs, but with toys, and it was like all these action figures from the 80s. And I started posting some, and I had some Generation 1 Transformers.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
It's got to be worth something, right?
Well, unfortunately they weren't kept in the greatest condition.
Yeah.
But I sold. I mean, I paid 50 cents a Transformer.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think I made like $25 off one. The only problem about that is it takes so much time to sell. Like sometimes, because like there's sometimes where I'm like in between like gigs and shit, and where I'm like, oh, I can sell some stuff, but I'm like, no, I have to sell it in person. And when you sell them in person or sell them at the flea market, people always want to lowball you like a motherfucker.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but yeah, man, I love how we deviated from like celebrations to
Yeah, I don't even know where we went with that was all over the place.
Damn it! Yeah, you got a pretty extensive DVD collection now. Holy shit!
Yeah, that thing's full.
Yeah, is that just DVDs or is that like CDs too?
All DVDs.
Oh, okay, that porn in there? Is there any porn?
No, but I got one movie which is a very hard to find Larry Clark movie that did kids.
Oh, okay.
Ken Park.
Interesting.
And it's about like white trash kids and stuff. You ever see? I think Larry Clark did that. I could be wrong. He did a movie called Bully that was about kids in Florida who kill their friend who was like
I think I heard about that one.
a bully type figure in their group. But it's very like, trashy Florida kids. It's fun. Yeah, I have a lot of good ones. But it's such a bummer. I know some people really like physical media.
Yeah.
But I was like always into movies, and so I bought a lot of DVDs along the way.
Yeah.
But like when we were coming up, DVDs were like $10, $12 or whatever.
Yeah.
So I like, that's like that's a lot of money.
That's
a lot of money right there.
So
and it's worthless. Like I could watch a movie on a DVD player in my camper, or like on here, like I could put it in a PlayStation thing, but I don't even fucking turn
Yeah.
I should sell all of this shit. I don't fucking, you know?
I hate the degradation of the value once you open it. Of
Yeah,
anything.
yeah,
Of
yeah.
anything. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
really it's not like especially like I they're like, oh, is it new at wrapper? I'm like, I just took the wrapper off. Like, well, that just dropped the value like $20. $20 for cellophane?
Yeah,
Are
yeah.
you fucking kidding me? Like, that's insane.
Yeah, they're like the little gold sticker isn't on it.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
it's a $50 sticker. Jesus Christ!
I know. It's funny how that. It's funny how that shit works. I wish I had the foresight to know that physical media was going to be worthless, and I think I did know at like 80% of the way into that, and I was like so far in that I was just like, "Fuck
I'm
it."
in too deep.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm in too deep.
Yeah, like I'm just gonna keep collecting. For those of you, we don't have a visual element to our podcast, but how many DVDs would you say that? It's four. Four. It's a big binder.
So just the middle. There's 4 deep for each page. Is it front and back 4?
Yeah.
So 8 on each page, and we're talking 50 pages. Holy shit! No.
Yeah, dude. It's stupid. We could do a podcast just reading the titles. You know, we could just read the titles and probably take up enough time.
That's got to be like over 400.
Oh man, that
What is that?
with those up there. Baraka.
What is Baraka?
Baraka is a film that was done. I wish I could remember the guy's name.
Yeah.
Fick. I think his last name was Fick. But it was filmed in 60 millimeter, which was like this nice, beautiful film. It's not like a plot. It's just video of stuff around the world.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to invoke a sense of oneness. And it's sort of it's strange and bizarre.
Yeah.
There's no dialogue or anything. It's just video of stuff. But like it's very like it's like an experience, you know?
Yeah.
An experience to as opposed to like you're watching a movie and you're like following along.
Yeah.
Some stuff is like that.
Interesting.
It's
Yeah.
like if you really like nature stuff, nature documentaries and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it right out just off the cuff. Yeah, Requiem for a Dream and Raging Bull.
Yeah.
Cinematic masterpieces.
Yeah, and then Scary Movie 2 on the next page.
Once again, cinematic masterpieces.
Kids, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun. Yeah, movies. You said you wanted to make horror movies at one point, right?
It's so funny. This is like the second or third time this week actually I've discussed this. Before I did stand up, I was huge movie buff.
Yeah.
Huge movie buff. Like there would have been a point in time where I would have knew exactly what you were talking about when you mentioned Baraka. I'd have been like, yeah, that's a Baraka. It was a film in
It's like, yeah.
I was a big movie buff. I actually wanted to be a filmmaker. And I think we discussed this on another podcast, but like basically I filmed all this stuff. I did everything in front and behind the camera. Like I did the producing, writing, directing. I did the stunts. I did creature, gore effects, all that shit, acting. And then I had all these short films of different genres, comedies, dramas, action, horror. 2.5 years worth of work, 2.5 years worth of short films. And I unfortunately, this is before YouTube.
Yeah.
So this is like 2003, 2004. And I just got out of high school, and one of my other graduation presents was a camcorder, and a digital camera. They got for like a big deal at Circuit City or some shit. So I filmed all this stuff, all these things, and I had a job too. So like I was doing pretty well, and I got it. I got into downloading music off LimeWire and also downloading porn. And I got a corrupt LimeWire, dude. I got a corrupt file.
Napster first, and then LimeWire.
I wasn't big on the internet when Napster was a big thing.
What was the first thing you downloaded when that all came around?
When file sharing and stuff.
Yeah.
What was the first thing I downloaded? I think Linkin Park's new album. or the first album that came out.
Oh,
Linkin Park.
okay, yeah.
I actually bought.
It used to be like you just did individual songs. Remember when like all that stuff?
Oh yeah, I did individual songs, but the whole album.
But then,
yeah,
well, I think by the time LimeWire was out, you could do full albums.
yeah.
But remember, you would like hit
there was
download full album, and it would take like 3 hours.
Oh, dude,
to like walk
yeah.
away, come back, you keep coming back.
Like I remember downloading episodes of the Chappelle Show.
Yeah,
and stuff, and that took fucking 7 hours. You'd go and leave and come back, and it'll still be like halfway through. It's like, god damn, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't get into Napster. I got on. I mean, honestly, my household, we didn't even have internet until I was almost done with high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was like.
Did you have a computer in your?
We had
house?
a computer for printing and stuff, and for like Microsoft Word. And then if we had to do any research for the internet, my mom would take us to her best friend's house, and they had internet and all this stuff, you know. So that was my first indoctrination to internet porn. Was going over to my mom's friend's house.
Oh, you saw it on there?
Oh yeah, hell yeah! I was just like, you gave a horny kid, like Dan Soder talks about it. You give a horny teenager internet access to the American Online, you know.
Yeah,
you know. Yeah, so I remember.
Yeah, American Online was wild because you'd have people chatting with you, like they would just start talking to you.
Oh, that's another thing too. I was like
Cyber,
ASL, fuck ASL, AIDS sex location, that whole thing. Yeah, I remember that. I remember I was chatting with a couple girls. They were probably dudes.
I know. Yeah, that's the thing. When you think back, you're like, it had to be all dudes.
Oh, dude, I almost got fucking trafficked. Several times, dude. Yeah, because there was a couple. There's like, hey, my name's Janie. I have nipple rings. I'm like, you're 12. Why do you got nipple rings?
I think I talked to them. I think I talked to her.
We almost got trafficked by the same dude.
I swear I remember someone named Jamie with nipple rings.
Oh, Janie's got a gun.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. I hope we talked to the same person. That would have been awesome.